"Well," said Mrs. Jennings, "that is her revenge."
The third day succeeding their knowledge of the particulars was so fine, so beautiful a Sunday as to draw many to Kensington Gardens. Mrs. Jennings and Elinor were of the number, but Marianne, who knew that the Willoughbys were again in town, chose rather to stay at home. Soon after they entered the gardens, Elinor found herself with some surprise accosted by Miss Steele, who, though looking rather shy, expressed great satisfaction in meeting them. "I am so glad to see you," said Miss Steele, taking her familiarly by the arm and then lowering her voice. "I suppose Mrs. Jennings has heard all about it. Is she angry?" "Not at all, I believe, with you." "That is a good thing. And Lady Middleton, is she angry?" "I cannot suppose it possible that she should." "I am monstrous glad of it. Good gracious! I have had such a time of it. I never saw Lucy in such a rage in my life. When Edward did not come near us for 3 days, I could not tell what to think myself, and I believe in my heart Lucy gave it up all for lost. Once Lucy thought to write to him, but then her spirit rose against that. However, this morning he came, just as we came home from church, and then it all came out. And after thinking it all over again and again, he said it seemed to him as if, now he had no fortune, it would be quite unkind to keep her on to the engagement. But to be sure, Lucy would not give ear to such kind of talking, so she told him directly he should take orders immediately, and they must wait to be married till he got a living. Elinor tried to talk of something else, but Miss Steele could not be kept beyond a couple of minutes from what was uppermost in her mind. "Edward talks of going to Oxford soon," said she, "and as soon as he can light upon a bishop, he will be ordained." Elinor was left in possession of knowledge which might feed her powers of reflection some time, though she had learnt very little more than what had already been foreseen and foreplanned in her own mind. The next morning brought Elinor a letter by the 2-penny post from Lucy herself. It was as follows: Bartlett's Building, March. I hope, my dear Miss Dashwood, will excuse the liberty I take of writing to her, but I know your friendship for me will make you pleased to hear such a good account of myself and my dear Edward, after all the troubles we have went through lately. We are both quite well now, and as happy as we must be always in one another's love. Our prospects are not very bright, to be sure, but we must wait and hope for the best. He will be ordained shortly, and should it ever be in your power to recommend him to anybody that has a living to bestow, I am sure you will not forget us, and dear Mrs. Jennings, trust she will speak a good word for us too. My paper reminds me to conclude, and begging to be most gratefully and respectfully remembered to her, and to Sir John, and Lady Middleton, and the dear children when you chance to see them, and love to Miss Marianne. I am yours, etc., etc. As soon as Elinor finished it, she performed what she concluded to be the writer's real design by placing it in the hands of Mrs. Jennings, who read it aloud with many comments of satisfaction and praise.